Hey guys, we'll start in a few minutes. Shall we start or shall we wait for 2 more minutes? Let's wait for 2 more minutes to see if anyone else joins. Just give me a moment. Okay, shall we start, everyone? Okay, great. So everyone, welcome to the session. So for next 1 hour, we'll be discussing some of the questions that can be asked in an interview, some of the things that you can do to improve your chances in your interview, apart from technical skills. Obviously, you all are learning technical skills, and those are the most important skills to have. But after completing the AccuJobs course or any other skill that you're learning, you'll be almost at the same level. And companies that are hiring, after checking your technical skills, they also try to see whether you are fitting in the specifications that they have. Right. For those who are joining this session for the first time, just to give my credentials, my name is Shubham Gupta. I have done my graduation from IIT Delhi long time back. After that, I went into the field of education. For past many years, I'm focusing on communication skills because I understand that communication skills can make and break your career. So I have seen almost every side of the communication, giving interviews, taking interviews, interacting with CXOs to people who had just got hired. Another thing for my introduction is that till 10th, my schooling was in Hindi medium. So I completely understand the pain and the embarrassment that someone can feel just because they are not able to communicate well in English, but we'll have to work on that. Great. So before we start, today, the idea is to focus on, because today is going to be the last session for me. So today I want to focus last 20 minutes on Q&A. And the initial focus is on the behavioral questions. But in the last session, we discussed something about behavioral questions, exactly the framework that we can use to answer behavioral questions. Does anyone remember what was the framework that we talked about to answer behavioral questions? Yes. So it was a STAR method. If someone missed that, you can check that recording. But just to share, STAR method was situation, task, action, and result. That was the STAR method. It's a framework to answer. It's not an answer. It's a framework to answer, to structure your answers better, especially for the answer of behavioral questions. Right. We discussed last time that some people can use STAR and still not give a great answer because they are using STAR in a wrong way. Right. So we discussed about even if you're utilizing STAR, make sure that you are using the STAR method in a good way, focus on the A, action mode. Include actions that show your qualities. We have discussed many times in all these answers, what is the interviewer looking for? Interviewer is looking for your qualities, and that's what you have to show them again and again and again and again, right? He's not really interested in your story. They are not really interested in the exact situation that you're mentioning. This is just to know more about you and to know more about your qualities. When you're talking about result, if the result can be quantifiable, great. If not, just talk about result as much as you can and make sure that though you have to talk about yourself, it's all about you when you're answering behavioral question. That does not mean you're bad mouthing someone else, right? So this is in summary what STAR was all about. Since we are going to discuss a few behavioral questions today, what I would like to do, I would introduce the question. I'll ask two random people to answer that question. You can see whether you will be able to do better. Other people will try to analyze that. Not everyone will get a chance to speak. That's not the idea. The idea is to think whether you will have a good story, whether you will be able to answer better as compared to the people who have answered. So let's start with the first question. The first question is, let's say after the tech interview towards the end, the tech interview has went well. You have cracked all the questions regarding data structures, algorithms, and everything. And towards the end, the tech interviewer is asking you, okay, so can you tell me a situation where you have handled pressure? Right. So that's the question. So I want volunteers, I want people to answer. This is a behavioral question, right? You have to use STAR to answer this question. The question is, can you tell me a situation where you have handled pressure? Right. So let's see, let's listen to one or two answers, then we'll discuss, then we'll pick another question, then we'll discuss. So again, any volunteer? Anyone who wants to answer this question using STAR? Don't worry, I understand that the answer will not be perfect. STAR needs a lot of practice, but I really want you to try giving this answer using the STAR method, the situation, the task, the action, and the result. Anyone? Any volunteer? Or shall I call the name randomly? Don't be afraid, it's not an interview. It's good to basically analyze it here, speak it here, rather than speaking for the first time in an interview. No volunteers? Okay, let me call out. Divya Pulikal, are you there? Okay, Divya is not there. Harsh Barnwal, are you there? Seems like Harsh is also not there. Okay. Ketki Kumeria, are you there? Nobody's there. Wow, surprise, surprise.
Yes, sir.
Okay, would you like to try answering this question? Tell me about a situation where you have handled pressure. Imagine the interviewer is asking you this question in an interview in a technical company. How would you answer this question?
Sorry, sir. Sir, actually, I don't know what should do in class because I just joined now.
No, it doesn't matter.
I will
Were
not
you in
hear your question.
were you in the last session?
Yes, sir.
You were there in the last session, right? Last weekend. Okay, people who were there in the last session have at least know about STAR. Can someone volunteer to answer this? Doesn't matter. Don't be afraid. I'm not going to cut marks. I'm not here to hire you. Great. Thank you. One volunteering. Finally. Navneet. Okay. Tell me. How tell me if an interviewer is asking you, tell me about a situation where you have handled pressure. What will you answer?
Like I would like to explain him the brief story. That
Tell the answer. Tell the answer.
Here I was given a story, given a situation to handle my team. As I haven't handled, I was on a junior position, but it was a great moment to manage such number of team with myself. Firstly, I analyzed the given challenge to me, and I suitably designated my team members for the particular role. And then on the weekly basis, I like to conduct a meeting with what we have achieved in the past week and plan for the ahead weeks again. And with that, we achieved the desired output. And that's how I handle my pressure situation.
Okay, thank you for trying, Navneet. And people comments, did you like the answer? Did you find that the answer can be a bit better? Anything, any constructive feedback for Navneet? Okay. And if you feel that you can do better, why not volunteer? Definitely, that would be great. So, okay. So let me revise STAR for you. I think many of you are not familiar with STAR. Okay, let's say this is the question. How do you set and accomplish personal goals when under pressure? Give me an example, right? Is the question clear? Quite general? Quite clear that it's a behavioral question. They want to know more about you, right? Is there any doubt that after looking at this question, you can't understand that this is a behavioral question? Is there any doubt there? Is there any doubt that we are not able to understand what are behavioral questions? What do you mean by behavioral questions? Let's start from that. Is there anyone here who is confused that what are behavioral questions? What do you mean by behavioral questions? Why should we prepare for behavioral questions? Is there any doubt on that? Ronak, you have a doubt? Ronak, you have a doubt? Okay, so since that's not a doubt, let's see basically one of my friends who went to University of Toronto, right? How did he answer this question, right? So this answer, as you can see, is using the STAR framework. Though I have segmented it in STAR, obviously while giving this answer, you will not say STAR. So let me read out this answer to you and you will understand what STAR means. As you can, situation, task, action, and result. So the answer my friend gave prepared for this exact situation, that how do you tell me about a situation where you set and accomplish personal goals while under pressure. So what he said, okay, so to give you some context, during university, I had very limited financial aid and my parents couldn't help co-pay the rest of the tuition. This is Canada we are talking about. So while studying, I also had to work to pay for the university. At the same time, I also took up a lot of extracurricular activities and internships when possible to get as much professional work experience as possible before graduating. The situation has been set. Clearly, he has not said that there was too much pressure, but because of the situation, you can see that there was a lot of workload. It was very crucial. The goal was personal because he went to a university and he had to do a lot of stuff. To keep up with the workload, I realized I had to manage my time very efficiently. So I set up Google Calendar and got a personal notepad for my daily tasks and responsibilities. Tasks do not give too much time. Now, action is the most crucial part. Through hard work and dedication, I managed to balance studying, a part-time job, and all extracurricular activities that I took. Sure, it was pretty tiring at times, but by the end of each day, I would always go over and edit my calendar for the rest of the week. This way, I knew pretty much everything I had to get done daily and never missed an assignment or a deadline either. In the end, I graduated with a 3.7 GPA, no student loans, and a personal design portfolio, which landed me my first real job at company XXX within a month of graduating. Right. Now look at this, look at the framework and tell me, what benefits can you see from the STAR method? And what are the qualities? If you listen to this answer as an interviewer, what are the qualities about my friend you got to know? Right, because that's the idea. All this answer, all this structure is all about to get interviewed know about your qualities. So this answer is using the STAR method. The question was, tell me, how have you accomplished personal goals? Give me an example. So my friend took a situation using STAR method, task, very simple, action. Action speaks about his qualities that he has. So if you are an interviewer and you are listening to this answer, what are the qualities that you would get to know about my friend? Punctuality, what else? Please do not write direct messages right in the chat. Punctuality, what else? Any other quality you got to know about my friend? Hardworking and know how to manage time. How do you know he knows how to manage time, Tushar? He didn't say that he managed his time, right? He didn't use these exact words. How did you know that there are some minor details here which gives me confidence that he knows. Yes, even saying that setting up Google Calendar and every day looking at it again gives me confidence as an interviewer that he's not only saying that he knows how to manage time, he has actually managed time because he's giving me details. Dedication, time management, what else? Other people are also here. I'm sure you also can see what qualities did you get to know, because that's the crucial part. Situation is not the crucial part. We are just leveraging that situation to showcase our qualities, consistency. So, and you understand that any HR manager, right, who is taking your interview, he or she would like these qualities, right? Someone who can manage their time well, someone who can manage pressure, someone who knows how to be punctual and dedicated, someone who has worked hard in their life. If you are an interviewer and you are hiring for your company, would you not want these qualities in someone interviewing with you? You would, right? So that's what the interviewer wants to know, and that's what your responsibility is while you are trying to give different answers. Now imagine, rather than this, the interviewer is asking me a question that, oh, tell me an example where you have accomplished personal goals and handled pressure. And my answer is, oh, there was a time in my 12th session where the boards exam were there, the competitive exams were there. And also I was actually trying for Olympiads also. So there were these three things I want to accomplish, and the timeline was actually matching. Right. So what I did was I worked really hard and I was able to basically crack everything. How is that an answer? Obviously, I gave an example. I talked about pressure situation. How was that an answer? The answer I just gave. Anyone? How was that answer? The answer I just gave. People, कुछ लिखो, कुछ बोलो. Okay. Let me rephrase the question. Let me tell the answer again. Let me rephrase the question. So the question remains the same, that the interviewer is asking, how do you set and accomplish personal goals when under pressure? Give me an example. One example you have, my friend's answer. Now let me give you another answer. Again, using STAR, right? So let me tell you the situation. The situation was when I was preparing for a competitive exam. I was in 12th. So I had to prepare for the board exam, the competitive exams for my future, and also I was trying to crack Olympiad exams. Right. Though academically, though all the three things were academically related, but the syllabus was quite different for all three. So I worked really hard and I managed my time well. And eventually I was able to crack all three. I got good score in 12th exam. I was able to crack JEE and I also got selected for Olympiad. How is that an answer? Compared to the first answer that you can see on your screen and this answer, what's the difference? How was my answer? Action is missing, but I said, no, I worked very hard. I worked very hard and I managed my time well. You're trying to say directly, you know ITA. What's ITA? You know it all. Okay, this is just stretching the sentence. Okay. So what did you get to know about my answer? The answer I gave you, everyone. What did you get to know about me? So we have already discussed what did you get to know about my friend. What did you get to know about me? If you listen to this answer in the interview, what did you get to know about me? You can handle pressure. He wants to show that he's doing hard work by word, not his action. Not much, right? You didn't get to know about that I was hardworking because I just said anyone can say I'm hardworking, right? That's why you need more detailing. Will anyone in the interview say that I'm not hardworking? Even if someone is not hardworking, will anyone say no? So you need to go an extra step. You need to give tiny details. You need to give specific details, which will give and that's what behavioral questions are all about. They can sense whether you are making up situation. They can sense by your action whether you have really underwent that situation or not. And that's why the answer written on your screen is much better as compared to the answer that I gave. Both used star, but my star was really bad, right? In the end, you can say that largely you have said the same thing, hardworking, but it's not about that. That's what their communication is different. Nobody is there to judge you basically that essentially what did you say. They are judged to see, the HR is there to see what qualities do you have, and as an HR, am I getting confidence that you have those qualities? This is what STAR all about. Just to stress upon the importance of STAR, I showed this in the last lecture also, but let me show it to you again if you're not taking my words for it. Okay, can everyone see? What site is this? This is an official Amazon Jobs ka site, right? It's an official, it's not a third-party website. This is the tricks, the web page they have made for the interviewees to go through that, how to prepare for your personal interview. Okay. Can you see what they have put? They have put it very bluntly. Can someone read this for me? The first two lines. I just want to make sure that this is not, I'm not making this up. Can someone read these lines for me? Read it aloud for me. The lines that are written. Yes, go on. It's just reading it aloud. Anyone? Just read it.
Hello,
out.
sir.
Yeah, can
Hello,
you read
sir.
it?
Yes, sir. Our interviews are based on behavioral questions about situation or challenges you have faced in the past and how you have dealt with them. The leadership principles serve as a guide for discussion. We refrain from brain teasers.
So Amazon itself is telling you, and it's not only Amazon follows these, many big tech companies do ask behavioral questions when they have HR rounds, right? Amazon put it on their official page that if you're coming for our interviews, you better be prepared with behavioral questions, right? And behavioral questions are almost about your past. And see the next section. They have given you a framework that if you are coming prepared, you better be prepared with STAR method. Is this the only method to answer behavioral questions? No. But this is one of the most recognized method to answer behavioral questions. Are we on the same page? Why am I pushing you to learn STAR method and try to do better rather than just saying 3 sentences that I worked hard, I was able to do it, and that's it? The interviewer is not really interested in the situation. You are using that situation to give interviewer the confidence that you really have dealt with those situations, and these are the qualities that you really have. Now, would someone like to try answering the same question, the pressure one? How do you set and accomplish personal goals while dealing under pressure? Give me an example. Would someone like to take a shot? Either take a shot or ask doubt. दो ही option है. Remaining silent is not an option. Either someone volunteer. It's okay. I'm not expecting a perfect answer. I want you to understand. I want you to give it a shot. I want you to understand when you're listening to someone that, oh, this is something I have to do better. Any doubt regarding STAR that you can ask? Okay. Auction. What's auction, Shiva Kumar? बेचूं मैं अपने आप को. Action means action, the action you did in that situation. That's what action means. For example, in this, my friend is talking about after in that situation, what did he do exactly? And he put some tiny minor specific details. For example, talking about that every day he used to go back and check the calendar and see what has been done, what has not. That's a very specific detail to mention, which gives me a confidence that this person has done the thing. This person has actually gone through that situation. And what topic we should say? This exactly. Tell me a situation where you have handled pressure. This is a behavioral question. Tell me about a situation where you have handled pressure. If you don't want to take up this, let's pick the one basically. Okay. Do you want to pick this one, which Amazon suggests? What did you do when you needed to motivate a group of people or encourage collaboration on a specific project? Many of you must have done group projects in your college. Do you want to answer that? Yes, Suraj. Which question would you like to answer?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Suraj.
Sir, I want to answer the STAR method question. A situation which I faced in my school time when I handled a pressure.
Go on. You want to answer the pressure question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Go on. So tell me a situation where you have handled pressure, Suraj.
I am facing a situation in my school time when I was in my class 12 and I am one of the managing head of our school teachers day celebration event. I was मेरा इंग्लिश थोड़ा खराब है इसलिए मैं सही से बोल नहीं पा रहा हूँ लेकिन मैं हिंदी में बोल सकता हूँ.
आंसर के बीच में तो मत बोलो कि इंग्लिश खराब है. बोलो, कोई बात नहीं.
नहीं, मैं आपको बोल रहा हूँ मतलब मैं हिंदी में बोलूँ.
नहीं, इंग्लिश में बोलो. जितना खराब है कोई बात नहीं, बोलो.
Okay, I am facing a pressure situation when I was in my 12th class. When I was in my 12th class, in that time, when we are in 12th, then that time we manage a Teachers' Day event, and I am one of them. I am one of the managing head of the Teachers' Day event. in that time, I make I was as when सर हो नहीं रहा है
अरे का
English में।
यार कंप्लीट तो करो, आप बीच में खुद से क्यों रुक जा रहे हो? गलत बोल दो, बीच में क्यों रुक जा
when
रहे हो? किस चीज से घबराहट हो रही है? मैं डांट रहा हूँ आपको?
नहीं सर इंग्लिश मेरा थोड़ा
हाँ तो
बुरा है।
गलत गलत हो जाएगा ना, खुद से क्यों रुक जा रहे हो बीच में? गलत हो जाएगा ना, यही होगा ना?
तब बोल रहा हूँ। हाँ
नहीं, मुझे बताओ
हाँ
क्या
हाँ
गलत हो जाएगा ना?
हाँ
यही होगा ना,
गलती से
इसमें
मैं
पूरा।
मतलब हकला रहा हूँ ना इसलिए।
हाँ कोई बात नहीं, हकला लो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। पूरा बीच में नहीं रुकना है, खुद से नहीं डाउट में आना है कि मैं कुछ नहीं बोल पा रहा। कंप्लीट करो अपना आंसर।
In this situation, as I am one of the managing head, so that's why I make many of work for others, and I have many of the duties which I have to complete, and I also make many of the teams who had done their work, and many of them cannot done their work properly in this time. Then at the end of the when I complete my all the work, then I had see that many of them cannot complete their work, and I see that in which kind of work they cannot complete. And then I had see them, and in this time I had many boys and girls in my school. Then I have called them, and I make a bench about them, bench make of them. Then I um, bench make of them, then I uh, understand the how to did this work at time. After that I suggest them, you do this, you do this, and you do this. That's how I make all the work, and after the time, then I complete all the task at the late night. Then I had go to home.
गुड। सो स्ट्रक्चर ठीक है, थोड़ा आप यू नीड टू डू इट, मेक इट मोर डिस्क्रिप्टिव, गिव मोर डिटेल्स रादर देन डूइंग दिस की बजाय टेल व्हाट डिड यू एग्जैक्टली डू, राइट?
Okay,
In
okay.
general, not on star, you know that you need to improve upon your English. You are making your life complicated by using had. Just use simple past. I did this, I went, I completed. You don't have
Okay.
to try to use had plus third form or has plus third form. Do not overcomplicate your life, right?
Okay, sir.
As far as tenses is concerned, just remember, revise simple past tense. Which tense? Simple
past
past,
tense.
right?
Past
Just
tense.
use that.
हाँ,
Had वगैरह का गलत, उसकी had की जगह भी वो वाला यूज कर लोगे तो इट्स फाइन, राइट? डू नॉट ओवर कॉम्प्लिकेट योर लाइफ, बिकॉज आपको अभी इंटरव्यू क्लियर करना है, राइट? इंग्लिश नहीं सीखनी है, ठीक
okay,
है?
okay.
Otherwise the structure
Thank
was good, everyone. So try to practice you answering behavioral questions. I'm just forewarning you, this you will not be able to do without preparation in an interview. I'm not saying other things are not important, but just knowing yourself, just thinking कि मुझे तो stories आती हैं अपने बारे में, do not go unprepared in an interview. Try to go with 3 or 4 situations prepared beforehand, जिनको आप customize कर पाओ थोड़ा बहुत in every situation, right? You can use all the situations. Preferably, I would want you to pick 1 or 2 situations from your project, from your college times. It can be academic project, it can be extracurricular project, it can be any festival, right? But if that's not the case, you can pick situations from your childhood, school, or even your personal life, rather than saying that, oh, I have never handled the pressure, right? So preferably, I would want you to, and if you have worked somewhere before, and many of you have worked somewhere before, I would prefer you picking up situations from your previous workplace, even if that was not related to IT or tech, right? So I can see that there is you are not very much enthusiastic about STAR. It's okay. As we promised that this was going to be my last session, so I really want to discuss some of the questions. So in the last session, there were 2 questions that I said that I'll answer in this session. One is to explain the gap year, and one is why should we hire you? Is there any other question that you want me to answer, you want me to guide how to answer? So these 2 questions we'll discuss, gap years and why should we hire you? Yes, Mayank, tell me.
Sir, just one question, sir. How to the answer of to give a gap of an academic year. Just suppose that, sir, I was passing at 2021 of BCA, but
Mhm.
now still I have doing not any corporate work. So how can I say that there was so
What's the gap year? आपने graduate कब किया?
in 2021?
ठीक, उसके बाद क्या किया आपने?
सर उसके बाद मैंने 2022 में मैंने सेल्स कंपनी ज्वाइन करा था.
So you did some work, ना?
यस सर, बट 21 से लेके 22 ये
हम्म।
1 ईयर का गैप तो आया ना सर, और इंटरव्यूअर तो ये पूछ सकता है ना कि आपने जो बीच में गैप था उसमें क्या करा आपने.
क्या कर रहे थे?
बेसिकली मैं प्रिपेयर कर रहा था ऐसे एमसीए के लिए, निमसेट की तैयारी कर रहा था. तो
बोल दो. ये पूछे, ठीक है? Say that you were trying to prepare for that, but then family situation arises and you realize that you want to go into the workforce. Right? मतलब I don't know whether family situation arise or not. जहाँ पे भी डाउट आए, हर जगह मत यूज करना, बट गैप ईयर के अंदर जहाँ पे भी डाउट आए, try to use family situation as an exam, as a
Okay,
motivation. ठीक है?
okay.
Okay. So let's pick up this question.
Sir?
Why should we hire you? Right. Okay. Tell me. This is a simple question. This is not even a behavioral question. I want answers on this. Why should we hire you? If someone is asking you this question, Ritesh Kumar, painting class nahi hai ye. Okay. So tell me, why should we hire you? This is quite a common question. I want 1 or 2 answers, and then we'll discuss how to answer this better. Why should we hire you? Anyone? Please answer this. The interviewer is asking you, why should we hire you?
Can I?
Yes, Ritesh, go on. Why should we hire you?
I think I am capable for this job, and I already trained for this one. That's why.
Okay. 2 or more 3 answers. Why should we hire you?
Yeah, hello sir, can I see?
Yes, Vikash, why should we hire you?
Yes, sir. Actually, I can say that when I saw the job description, then I found that whatever the skills you need in your company at present time, that skills I already have, and I work at some other companies as usual, and I am capable to work a team also, and in a great situation also I can work. That was the most important thing, that I can work your team.
Okay, good. One more answer. Why should we hire you? Yes, Akansha Dubey, why should we hire you?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
As I am fresher, I don't have any work experience, but I assure you that I will give my best at work every time to reach the goal assigned to me by the company. I believe that my technical and interpersonal skill will surely help me to complete the given task with quality. And I am a self-motivated and I'm goal-oriented person. So I strongly believe that I'm much more capable in giving significant contribution that will be surely beneficial for the company's growth.
Okay.
I'm sure your organization will surely be an excellent platform for me to start my career as IT professional and establish my skill and knowledge in the corporate world. That's it.
Okay, good. One more. Priya, why should we hire you?
Yeah, sir. I am self-motivated and very open-minded person who can learn very fast. Looking at the job description in the field of software development, I am confident that I am very much suitable for this job. I enjoy solving problems and I am a great team player. I also believe that my values are aligned with this company's value. Thank you.
Great. So everyone, you heard 4 answers. Anything that you think everyone missed? Anything that you think everyone did wrong? Anything that you think everyone did right? Thank you, everyone. It good, but sounds like mugged up answer. Okay. Every answer sounds like mugged up answer. Iqbal Khan. Okay. So some things were right. For example, almost all of you, 2 of you discussed about your skills, the qualities that you have. Good. So the answer, why should we hire you, has to be in 2 parts. One is the important first part is about your technical skills, because that's what the company is looking for. So you can say that, and इससे पहले आपका discussion हो चुका होगा on projects, on everything. So you can say that, as we have already discussed, and you can see from my projects, I have experience in, and experience is not, I'm talking about job experience. I have experience in the tech stack, in the languages XXX that the company is looking for or that you are looking for. So the first part, 2 or 3 lines, has to be reiterating your technical skills. Okay. The second part has to be on the qualities that you have. For example, one of you mentioned goal-oriented. One of you mentioned that you are very punctual, you are very hardworking. Exactly that, right? And so the answer has to be 2 parts. One is very necessary or sufficient. If you're lacking in technical skills, the company is not going to hire you. So that's what you have to reiterate first. After that, what makes you special? Right. It can be as simple as, for example, what the third person said, that I think I'm really excited to start working with you. I think that your company is doing great, and it will be a great platform for me to start working and eventually grow. Not only start working, but eventually grow. Because as an interviewer, that's what I'm looking for. I want someone who will stay with my company. Right. For example, why should we hire you, Kendra? You should never give this feeling that after 2 years, I'll go to Google. Even if you want to go to Google, in an interview, never say that I'm using your company as a stepping stone. I'm here just to learn the basics, and then I'll try for bigger companies, even if you want to. The interviewer wants to have people who will stay with the company, and that's what they're trying to judge in this question, why should we hire you? And obviously, how confident you are in your qualities. Some things, one of you mentioned that, as I am a fresher, I do not have work experience. No need to mention that. You are competing with freshers only. The HR or the other person knows that you are a fresher. Do not try to bring your weakness out compared to any other person. Right. This is where you play on your strengths and not on your weakness. Even if you have some weakness, do not mention that. That was discussed prior. So are we on the same page? Is there any question, any doubt on why should we hire you? Are you still confused how to answer this question? Why should we hire you? Yes, Sujata, do you want to answer?
Hello, sir.
Do you have a doubt? Yes, Vikash.
Hello. Yes, sir. I'm asking, like, if the interviewer will ask me, like, what is your strength and the weakness, then what I need to say.
Sorry, strengths and weakness. We'll discuss that, strength and weakness. In this question, why should we hire you? Is there a doubt? Anyone?
No, sir. No, sir.
Akansha, just don't mention it. Your answer is good, but you started with, so as I am a fresher, right, I don't have the necessary skills. Do not say that. Otherwise, your answer was perfect. Just do not say that as I'm a fresher. I know as an interviewer, you are a fresher. You can start with, as per our previous discussion and the projects I have done, you can see that I have experience and done my projects in Java, C++, whatever skills that are mentioned in the job description, right? Mention that. And I think I have all the knowledge that your company requires. Besides that, I am a hardworking person. I'm someone who is a goal-oriented person, right? उसके बाद जो भी आपने बोला. Just do not mention, there is no need to mention I am a fresher. Just no need to mention that this is the first time I'm entering IT field. There's no need to mention that I'm coming back after 2 years or 3 years, right? That discussion must have happened earlier. No need to mention any weakness in this question. Why should we hire you? That's what I'm asking. Right. Okay. Next question. Gap year. How many of you are afraid? How many of you have gap years? And how many of you are afraid that you don't know how to answer if someone asks, tell me about your gap year? Okay, how many of you have a gap year of more than 2 years? Iqbal Khan, 4 years gap. Kab se kab tak?
2018 में graduation complete किया था sir.
What were you doing for 4 years?
I was preparing for CA sir. And I've did my first group, but didn't clear the second group. So
Okay.
I thought I have to switch to IT sir.
Okay, so listen to me very clearly, everyone. If you have a gap year of 1 or 2 years, or if your gap year is clashing between 2020 and 2021, you can use COVID and difficulties because of COVID to hide your gap year. Okay. If you have a gap year of more than that, and it's not coinciding with COVID, right? You will have to actually tell what you were doing. I'm not putting you were doing some another job as a gap year. That's not a gap year. Right? Gap year means either you were preparing for competitive exams or you were not doing anything. Right? That's what gap year means. Or you were traveling pahadon mein. I'm not sure. Right? If you were doing some other job, that's not a gap year. You should talk about the job that you were doing and the skills that you learned there. Teamwork, handling stakeholders, communication, handling clients and all that. Now, keeping these conditions in mind, how many of you have a gap year which you are not able to explain? The work one, I'm not considering as a gap year. Akansha, 2016, 2019, what were you doing in these 3 years?
सर मैंने बीएससी किया था तो इसलिए
16 से 19 के बीच में आप क्या कर रहे थे?
तो बीएससी कर रही थी मैं.
तो गैप ईयर नहीं है ना.
नो सर एक्चुअली ना मेरा वो 3rd ईयर मेरा निकला नहीं था, उसके बीच में मैंने आईटीआई भी की थी, तो दैट्स व्हाई. तो मेरा पूरा ग्रेजुएशन कंप्लीट नहीं है. 3rd ईयर में मेरा 3 नंबर से मेरा रुक गया था रिजल्ट, तो उसमें मैं बीएससी नहीं ऐड कर सकती हूँ ना.
Yes, but that you will not be able to hide. 3 years, that is 2016, 2019. The only reason you can hide वो भी family issues भी थोड़े मुश्किल हैं because people will ask what were the family issues. Only shield is COVID के time कोई नहीं पूछेगा what were the family issues. But the other way you can hide is by saying that you started doing BSc and eventually you didn't complete it because of some emergency in the family. That's the only way I can see the way out. The other way is being completely honest. That will harm your chances not completing your BSc because of marks, right? So I'll say that you started doing BSc, you were doing BSc, but you were not able to complete it because you were not able to give your exams, or 3 years before that because of some family emergency.
Okay, so BSc में बता सकती हूँ.
3 साल का गैप हाइड नहीं हो सकता. You have to understand that, right? So कुछ तो बताना पड़ेगा. अगर आप ये नहीं बताना
मैंने
चाहते
एक्चुअली मैंने रेडी किया था एक.
अगर आप ये नहीं बताना चाहते कि बीएससी मार्क्स की वजह से नहीं निकला, तो बोलो कि बीएससी कर रहे थे बट सम फैमिली इमरजेंसी आ गई और आपको बीच में छोड़ना पड़ा. Okay, what else? Other people, gaps. I think there are some gaps. Navneet Kumar Chugh, 2015 to 17. Okay, it's good that you are not afraid to answer about your gap. Tell me, if someone asks you, what were you doing between 2015 to 17?
Venkatesh. Sir?
Venkatesh, your voice is breaking.
Am I audible, sir, now?
Yes.
Sir, I completed my diploma in 2017. After that, I joined in a job, but I quit that in just 2 months, sir. After that, due to some health conditions, I quit that job, and after 1 year, that means in 2018, again I joined in BTech, sir. 18 to 21. So how to answer that 1 year gap?
No, exactly.
2017,
you said that you had health problems. If that was true, and I believe you that was true, just say that. There's nothing to hide.
Okay.
People have health problems. Okay, let me tell you which will be the worst situation. The worst situation, and I don't want to dishearten everyone here, the worst situation will be for people who were preparing for competitive exams for 4 years or 5 years, be it UPSC, SSC and all that, right? You will not be able to hide that, and you will have to be if someone asks you whatever you're doing, you will have to be very honest that you were preparing for that, but eventually you realize the opportunity cost. After giving 2 tries, 3 tries, after putting everything you had, you realize that you're already behind your peers, and this is the right time for you to basically work hard and get into the sector that you want to get into, right? Is there anyone who was preparing for competitive exam for 4 years, 5 years straight? You will not, if no, great. If yes, you will not be able to hide it. You will have to To be honest, preparing of competitive exam, SSC and UPSC does not add anything to your experience. That's the worst part. Having a job, doing some degree, doing some diploma still adds to your experience. Preparing for competitive exams, sadly, you gained a lot of knowledge, but it does not add to your experience. So make sure that you are not trying to hide that fact. Acknowledge that you did that, it didn't work out, and now you realize that you are behind your peers of same age group, and you will have to work extra, you will have to put extra effort to catch up, right? Just be very honest on that. Right. Any confusion in the gap year thing? Yes,
Hello?
Priya?
Hello?
Yes.
सर एक्चुअली मेरा ना 2016 में ग्रेजुएशन खत्म हुआ है सिविल इंजीनियरिंग से। फिर मैंने 3 इयर्स मतलब जॉब किया है। 2019 के बाद मैं अहमदाबाद में थी, फिर वहां से मैं मुंबई में आई बिकॉज ऑफ मैरिज। फिर कोविड आया, फिर 2 साल मेरा उसमें गया। फिर मैंने पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन इन कंप्यूटर साइंस किया, तो अभी वो मेरा फिनिश हुआ है 2022 में। तो मतलब मैं इसमें क्या बता सकती हूँ?
कुछ नहीं, यही बताना है कि आपसे कोई पूछे कि इतने साल क्या कर रहे हैं, तो यही बताना है जो भी आपने मुझे बताया।
ओके, मतलब इसमें कोई मतलब वो नेगेटिव तो नहीं लगेगा ना सामने?
अनलेस आप नेगेटिव उसको बना रहे हो, कोई नेगेटिव नहीं है। कोविड के अंदर बहुत सारे लोग घर पे थे, नॉट एन इशू।
ओके ओके ओके, दैट्स ओके सर, थैंक यू सर।
Everyone, Srijita, you will obviously mention that you have done a course in AccioJobs, especially because but that is only for 3 months and 6 months, right? That's not a gap year, right? I'm asking you, उससे पहले अगर आपका gap है तो कैसे, you will have to explain that.
Hello.
Yes, Anuchand.
Sir, I was completed my graduation in 2022. Is there any problem with that?
Graduation complete करने में क्या problem है?
Career gap to hire companies.
Sorry, you graduated in 2022.
Yes.
So where is the gap?
But this year is 2023 now.
Actually, it's not a gap. You were joining a course, you were strengthening your skills, you actually joined a program, AccioJobs, to gain more skills. That's not a gap. It's okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
That's my doubt.
Everyone, so that's what about gap year is. Now let's talk about a question someone asked, right? It was a question how will you measure the success of the person in this position? I don't think anyone will ask you this question, Nirbhay, but let me try to answer this. Since you are joining as a fresher, since you are joining as a software developer SDE1, right? SDE1, in most probably it's called SDE1 in many of the places, right? Talk about basically, obviously, try to say that, give them freedom that every company has their own success parameters. But for me individually, and I would abide by it, for me, the measure of success is definitely one, I am able to am able to complete everything that was assigned to me in the timelines that was given to me. That's the first parameter. That's a very basic parameter that I judge my success. Second is definitely personally, I measure my success over 6 months. Every 6 months, basically, what have I learned? In which area my skills have improved, especially the tech areas that I will be working with the company. That is also a measure of success for me. Third measure of success will be, obviously, if I'm getting an appraisal for the company, that will be an objective measure. If I'm getting an appraisal from the company, if I'm getting a good feedback from my manager, that validates that my measure of success was correct. So largely, this is what your measure of success will be. You can add more details, but largely this will be a good answer. Right. How do you face criticism? Tell me, how do you face criticism? Akanksha. So you can say that how do you face criticism is that you always believe that people give you criticism because they want to become better, right? In any time, whenever someone give me a constructive feedback or criticism, I try to think it very rationally. I go back, try to analyze where that person is coming from, and try to judge that criticism very objectively. I'm not saying that I take every criticism exactly how it is given to me, but I believe that anyone who is giving me or criticizing me something must have some viewpoint, and I try to act upon that. And if there is something in that for me to work upon, I try to work upon that. You should not say that कि मैं react करती हूँ. You should also not say that कि every criticism I act upon it. Right? You need to show that whenever you get a feedback, you think about it, you see, you try to understand the point of view from the other person, and then you try to act upon the relevant facts or relevant things that have been suggested to you. Right? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Okay. Where do you see? Just give me a minute, guys. Keshav, I'm removing you from the class. Thank you. Please, just give me a moment. Let me delete this. Just give me. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so we were discussing about where do you see yourself in 5 years, right? Great. So everyone, the idea about where do you see yourself in 5 years is, tell me, what does an interviewer want to know? When someone is asking you, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What does an interviewer want to know? Clearly, he has no interest in your personal life per se, right? So where do you, specifically, he wants to see that, one, whether you are ambitious or you are just saying कि job चाहिए, जो minimum होगा कर लेंगे. Second, whether in your future plan, you are thinking about the company or not, right? And whether you have some realistic idea. For example, if someone says that in next 5 years, I want to become the CTO of the company, that sounds like that this person is not even realistic, right? So 2 things you have to convey. One, that you're planning your future with this company, right? You will not leave this company after 2 years or 3 years. Even if you will, do not say that. And second, you are ambitious enough and you are willing to work hard for your ambitions. It can be that in next 5 years, I would like to see myself grow in the company. I know that I will have to work really hard. I'm ready to put more effort, learn whatever the company will teach me, my manager will teach me to reach, to grow, and to reach a position where I am able to basically command, lead a team or something like that, right? Keep it simple. Do not talk about CTO. Do not talk about I want to open my own startup, at least not in the first interview, not when you're joining as a fresher, right? Maybe after that, you can frankly talk about that. Maybe when you're going for SDE2, SDE3, that in 5 years, you're planning a startup and all that, but not in the fresher interview, even if you're planning, right? Even if you're planning to interview for Amazon in next 2 years or Google or Flipkart, whatever that, do not say that in an interview. Honesty is not the best policy here, sadly. Are we clear on how to answer? Where do we see ourselves in 5 years? Due to backlogs, that's
Hello,
not a
sir.
gap. Shiva Kumar,
Can you
that's not
repeat, please?
just 1 minute. Shiva Kumar, due to backlogs by 1 year gap, this is not a gap. You completed a 4-year degree in 5-year degree that will show in your resume. Someone will ask you and you have to tell them there were backlogs, right? That's not a gap. Gap is where basically the person is interested in knowing ki kar kya rahe the. If a person is seeing that there is a 5-year, you have spent 5 years rather than 4 years in completing your degree, most probably he will not ask because he will understand there's a reason. If he's asking, you have 2 options, either to say that you have backlogs or to say that there were some problems. It's up to you. Yes. Someone wanted to ask something. Please go on.
Yes, sir. Can you repeat this answer?
Which answer?
What's the same 5 year of the data where I can see myself?
So I don't want you to give the exact answer because ratke chale jaoge to pata chal jayega. The answer basically involves 2 things. One, you need to show that you are ambitious enough and you are willing to put extra effort and you want to grow with the company. Right? These are the fundamental things that you have to talk about. Right? You are ambitious. That means you really want to basically reach higher positions and you know that you have to learn new skills for that. You will have to basically gain more knowledge. You are ready for that. And the other thing is you want to communicate again and again that you want to grow with the company. right? Do not say that I want to do masters after 2 years. Great. One more question. Any other question that we want to answer?
Yes, sir. Like you told that there's a there's a 4 years gap, there is a issue. Like so I'm preparing for CMA, but during this year sir we have only sir हम लोग 6 महीना में एग्जाम होता है हमेशा, तो वो एग्जाम सर कोविड की वजह से 2 टर्म हुआ नहीं, तो सर उसको कैसे मेंशन करेंगे? 2 टर्म मिला नहीं, उसके बाद मैंने दिया तो सर निकला नहीं, एक ग्रुप निकला दूसरा ग्रुप नहीं निकल पाया, तो उसको किस तरह मेंशन करेंगे सर?
कुछ नहीं, अगर वो पूछता है कि आप फिर एक्सप्लेन कैसे करो, आपको बोलना पड़ेगा कि आप कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम का तैयारी कर रहे थे, कोविड की वजह से डिले हो गया, यू स्टिल होप्ड कि हो जाएगा बट हुआ नहीं, तो आपने सोचा कि और टाइम वेस्ट नहीं कर सकते, यू नीड टू गेट इनटू द जॉब सेक्टर.
Hi, sir.
You need to be honest. In this case, you need to be honest. Yes, Navneet.
Sir, in my previous organization, I was working as a measuring technician, where I was measuring roofs on PC, like software was given by the company. With the houses which were measuring were US based, not in India based, but the company had an office in India also. Lately, the company shut down their departments. And suppose I want to switch my job profile now, or I want to go in different field. How can show that experience relevantly in this?
You can't show that experience or relevant as far as technical skills were concerned, right?
Okay.
The only thing that you can show is that it doesn't matter whichever work you were doing, you do acquire some skills, some qualities. It can be attending meetings, it can be talking with teammates, it can be, you know how to manage time, you know how to work in corporate and whatever that is, right? So whatever skills, apart from technical skills, you can see that you have learned from that job experience, carry that over in this, right?
Okay.
You will not be able to map technical skills because it was not, right?
Yeah.
Here you are going for development. Don't try to do that, but that does not mean that job was useless. Try to say that since you have already worked in a corporate, since you have already worked, you are well versed how the corporate world works, you know how to talk with teams, you know how big companies work and all that, right? Just talk about those qualities that you have learned.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Can we say IQ job course in the resume? Depends which section. किस सेक्शन में के अंदर डालोगे आप ये IQ jobs? Academics में तो नहीं हो सकता. You can say anything in your resume, but which section will you put at? You can put under training, yes. Obviously in projects, जो भी आप projects डालोगे वो IQ jobs वाले projects ही होंगे largely. You can put it in the course and training, not an issue, right? But not under academics, obviously. Okay, any other question that is troubling you, everyone? Great. So I don't think we'll meet for next 1 month or 2 months, right? So all the best for your interviews. Just leaving you with an last suggestion. You should not compromise on learning your technical skills, but make sure you are not leaving your soft skills and communication skills as far as interview is concerned. I don't want you to become an orator, but you are not leaving that for last 7 days or last 10 days, right? So manage your time well. Spend half an hour or 1 hour daily at least on preparing for your interviews. Imagine your IQ job training has been done, right? How would you answer things which are non-tech? That will not change between 1 month and 2 months. So make sure you are practicing that. Take my word for it. If there are 2 people whose technical skills are similar, 1921 types, right? And one is much better in personality wise, right? The company would prefer someone who had the 19-1 and much greater personality. If the technical skill gap is huge, you have the definite advantage, yes. But normally after first round, all those people who get to the second round, the technical skills are more or less similar. So you need some edge over the other person. And that edge is all human, all you, all your qualities, your passion, your motivation, right? So make sure you're working on that. Great. best of luck for your interviews whenever they are, right? And I'll see, you can connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll see if I can help you out. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good luck. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank